Had maybe 5 good years to sing my songs for you folks. Well, hell, it's been around 50 now. I still love it just as much as I ever did. I heard old John Michael say my name, and I walk through those curtains to see your smiling faces. My feet don't touch the ground again. I walk back out. Get on that bus. Yeah. I don't know how many more years I can do this. I figure a few. I do want you to know, though, when I do walk off this stage, and I'm sitting in far away from all home, you won't be far away. I'll still hear your screams and cheers if I'm up. I will always remember you.
He walked out under the lights of Lincoln Financial Field, greeted not by mere applause, but by the kind of reverence usually reserved for legends. George Strait, the man often called the King of Country, took center stage with his guitar slung low and the weight of decades in his voice. For the thousands who gathered in Philadelphia that night, it was supposed to be another great show. But what they got, instead, was something far more profound. Midway through the performance, Strait began to sing, "I'll Always Remember You." It's a song that doesn't often sit at the top of charts or playlists, but it carries something deeper: reflection, farewell, and thanks. Fans have heard it before, but this time it came with a line that struck harder than ever before. Strait paused, looked out across the crowd, and said, calmly but deliberately, "I don't know how many more years I can do this. I figure a few." And just like that, a concert became a reckoning. It was a simple statement, honest, unforced, but those few words carried a gravity that pulled silence out of 50,000 people. He wasn't retiring, at least not officially, but the subtext was unmistakable. After 5 decades, countless sold-out arenas, and more #1 country songs than any artist in history, George Strait was beginning to close the final chapter. On the surface, it was one man sharing a moment with his audience. But online, the clip traveled fast. Within hours, fans were posting the video with captions like, "This one's gonna hurt when he goes," or "Not ready to say goodbye." For many, George Strait is more than an entertainer. He's a constant, a fixture. The voice they grew up hearing in their parents' cars, the song at their wedding, the soundtrack to years of life. And in an era where fame is measured in minutes and virality, Strait's longevity stands apart. He doesn't post dance trends. He doesn't seek headlines. He stands still on stage, guitar in hand, and lets the music do the rest. That's been his signature for nearly 50 years. It's worked. 60 #1 hits, 13 multi-platinum albums, more than 120 million records sold. And in June of 2024, another milestone, a record-breaking crowd of over 110,000 people at Texas A&M's Kyle Field, the largest ticketed concert in U.S. history, surpassing a record set by the Grateful Dead in 1977. At that show, the crowd stretched across a football field and filled every seat in a 100,000-capacity stadium. From the front row to the furthest bleacher, they sang every word back to him. And when he played Amarillo by Morning, you could hear the emotion swell like a wave, cresting in applause. In those moments, it was clear. This isn't just nostalgia. This is a living legacy. Fans know they're witnessing the final stretch of a historic run, and George knows it too. But instead of announcing a farewell tour or issuing a press release, he just says it, quietly, with a smile, as if to say, "I'll keep going while I can. And then I won't." Even his latest album, Cowboys and Dreamers, released in 2024, reflects that. It's not a reinvention. It doesn't need to be. It's George Strait being George Strait. Songs of longing, strength, simplicity, and grace. He's never chased trends. And now, in the twilight of his career, he doesn't have to. So when he sang, "I'll always remember you" in Philadelphia, it wasn't a goodbye. It was a bookmark. A way to tell the crowd, this matters to me as much as it matters to you. And maybe, without making it official, that's what this phase of his journey is about. Remembering, honoring, and gently preparing for what comes next. He didn't break down. He didn't walk off stage early. He played on. The show continued. But for anyone paying attention, the tone had shifted. The king of country had looked ahead and acknowledged what so few artists are brave enough to say out loud. Nothing lasts forever, but that doesn't make it any less beautiful. And that may be George Strait's quietest triumph. Not the record sales or sold-out stadiums, but his ability to exit with the same grace he entered. No spectacle, no stunts, just a man, a guitar, and a promise. I'll always remember you. What part of George Strait's legacy do you think will endure the longest? His music or the way he carried himself? Let us know in the comments.